Well, how nervous are you right now?
How what?
How nervous are you right now?
I'm not nervous at all, actually.
You really aren't?
No, I never get nervous.
You don't?
No.
No, not even for your first interview and it's live around the world? I thought you'd be a little nervous, but that's great, because if you're not nervous, I won't be nervous. I just wanted to let the world know that when we agreed to do this interview, you said that you would be willing to talk to me about everything, and we haven't discussed one single question that's going to be asked here tonight. Just wanted to make that right.
That's very true.
Very true. When we were watching, I was watching you in the background there, watching the video of you in the early years. Did that bring back memories for you?
It made me giggle.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that footage in a long time.
Yeah.
And it bring back memories, yes. Me and my brothers, who I love dearly.
Yeah.
And it's just a wonderful moment for me.
Yeah. I saw you laugh when you saw yourself singing Baby, Baby, Baby.
Yeah, because James Brown, I think James Brown is a genius, you know. When he's with the Famous Flames, just unbelievable. And I used to watch him on television. And I used to get angry at the cameraman, because whenever he would really start to dance, they would be on a close-up, and I couldn't see his feet. So I would throw things, I'd be angry. I said, show him, so I could watch and learn.
So he was a big mentor for you,
Phenomenal,
obviously. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, and who else was?
Jackie Wilson, who I adore as an entertainer, and of course music, Motown, the Bee Gees, who are brilliant. I just love great music.
So when I look at those tapes of you, and heaven knows that putting this together, I think I've seen every piece of video ever done of you, and watching those tapes, when, especially in the younger years, you seem to really come alive on stage. There's something going on with you when you were a little boy on stage. Were you as happy off stage as you appeared to be on stage?
Well, on stage for me was home. I was most comfortable, and still most comfortable, on stage. But once I got off stage, I was like very sad.
Really?
Yes.
And sad from the beginning? Sad since it first started, since the fame?
Lonely, sad, having to face with popularity and all of that. There were times when I had great times with my brothers, pillow fights and things, but I used to always cry from loneliness.
You did?
Yes.
Beginning at what age?
Oh, very little. 8, 9.
When you all first became famous?
Yes.
So it wasn't what it appeared to be to the rest of the world, all of us. I remember I was a little black child, wanted to marry Jackie Jackson, your brother. So, I mean, to all of us, we thought this was the most wonderful thing in the world. Who wouldn't have wanted that life?
It is wonderful, and there is a lot of wonderment in being famous. I mean, you travel the world, and you see things, you meet people, you go places. It's great, but then there's the other side. There's, which I'm not complaining, there's lots of rehearsal, and you have to put a lot of your time. Give of yourself a lot.
Do you feel, I talked to Suzanne DePass the other day, and Suzanne DePass worked with you all for a long time at Motown, and really groomed you all and found the outfits for the Ed Sullivan Show. And Suzanne had some interesting theories about your childhood. We talked about whether or not it was really lost. Was it?
Well, especially now, I come to realize, and then I would do my schooling, which was 3 hours with a tutor. Then right after that, you know, I'd go to the recording studio and record, and I'd record for hours and hours till it's time to go to sleep. So it'd be nighttime. And I remember going to the recording studio. There was a park across the street, and I'd see all the children playing, and they'd be rooting and making noise, and I would cry. It'd make me sad that I would have to go and work instead.
I wanted to go to this, to hear what Suzanne had to say about your childhood. And we're going to look at some pictures of you as a little boy.
Okay.
Describe the performance that you put on.
What I do?
Yeah.
Well, most of my songs are fast.
I mean, what do you put into it?
Well, whatever I sing, that's what I really mean. Like I'm singing a song, I don't sing it if I don't mean it.
I didn't have any friends when I was little. My brothers were my friends.
Was there ever a place where, because, you know, children, you know, I remember playing games and talking to myself and playing with my dolls and all that. Was there, and I think every child needs a place to escape into a child's world, into a child's imagination. Was there ever a time you could do that?
No, and that is why I think now, because I didn't have it then, I compensate for that.
Really?
I mean, when people wonder why I always have children around, because I find the thing that I never had through them. You know, Disneyland, amusement parks, arcade games. I adore all that stuff, because when I was little, it was always work, 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 from one concert to the next. If it wasn't concert, it was the recording studio. If it wasn't that, it was TV shows or interviews or picture sessions. It was always something to do.
Did you feel, Smokey Robinson has said this about you, and so have many other people, that you were like an old soul in a little body?
When I remember hearing that all the time when I was little. They used to call me a 45-year-old midget wherever I went. I used to always hear that, and I just would hear it, and I never thought about it. Just like when some people say, when you were little, when you started to sing, did you know you were that good? I said, I never thought about it. I just did it, and it came out. I never thought about it, really.
So here you were, Michael Jackson, with hits. You all had so many hits, 4 hits in a row, and you were crying because you couldn't be like other kids.
Well, I love show business, and I still love show business, but then there are times you want to play and have some fun, and that part did make me sad. I remember one time we were getting ready to go to South America, and everybody was packed up in the cars, ready to leave and go, and the plane was about to, and I hid, and I was crying while I was hiding, because I really did not want to go. I wanted to play. I did not want to go.
Were your brothers jealous of you when you started getting all the attention?
Not that I know of, no.
You never felt a sense of jealousy?
Let me think, no.
No?
No, I think they were always happy for me that I could do certain things, you know, and, but I've never felt jealousy among them, no.
Do you feel that they're jealous of you now?
I wouldn't think so. I don't think so, no.
No? What's your relationship like with your family? Are you all close still?
I love my family very much. I wish I could see them a little more often than I do. But we understand, because we're a show business family and we all work. We do have family day when we all get together. We'll pick a person's house. It might be Jermaine's house or Marlon's house or Tito's house. And everybody will come together, and we'll fellowship and love each other and talk and catch up on who's doing what, and, you know.
You all aren't all upset about LaToya and LaToya's book and the things that LaToya has said about the family?
Well, I haven't read LaToya's book. I just know I love my sister dearly. I love LaToya, and I always will. And I always see her as the happy, loving LaToya that I remember growing up with. So I couldn't completely answer on that.
Do you feel that some of the things that she's been saying are true?
I couldn't answer, Oprah. Honestly, I haven't read the book. That's the honest truth.
So let's go back to when you were growing up and feeling all of this. Well, I guess it's a sense of anguish, I guess. So there was nobody for you to play with other than your brothers. You never had slumber parties. You never.
Never. No.
So I'm wondering, for you, being this cute little boy that everybody adored, and everybody who comes up to you, they're, you know, pulling your cheeks and how cute, and this child prodigy, really, how adolescence affected you? Because I call, you know, adolescence going through that duck stage where everything's awkward, you know? And I'm wondering if, when you started to go through adolescence, having been, you know, this child superstar, did that was that a particularly difficult time for you?
Very, very, very difficult.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think every child star suffers through this period, because you're not the cute and charming child that you were, and you start to grow. And they want to keep you young forever and little forever.
Who's they?
The public. And, you know, nature takes its course. And
it does.
And I had pimples so badly, and it made me so shy. I used to not look at myself. I'd wash my face in the dark. I wouldn't want to look in the mirror.
Really?
And my father teased me, and I just hated it. I cried every day because of it.
Your father would tease you about your pimples?
He would tell me I'm ugly.
Your father would say
Yes,
that?
he would. Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with him?
I love my father, but I don't know him.
Mm-hmm. Are you angry with him for doing that? I think that's pretty cruel, actually.
Am I angry with him?
Because adolescence is hard enough without
It's
a
very
parent telling you that
difficult.
you're ugly.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Uh-huh.
Am I angry with him? Sometimes I do get angry, yes. I don't know him the way I'd like to know him. My mother's wonderful. To me, she's perfection. I just wish I could understand my father.
And so let's talk about these teen years. What is that when you started to go inside yourself? Because obviously you haven't spoken to to the world for, 14 years, I think, is your last televised interview. So you went inside, you became a recluse, and that was on purpose. Was it to protect yourself?
I felt that there wasn't anything important for me to say. And those were very sad, sad years for me. And
why so sad? Because on stage we see you performing, you're getting your Grammys. Why so sad?
Oh, there's a lot of sadness about my past life and, adolescence and my father and all of those things. It just made me very, very, very sad.
So he would tease you, make fun of you?
Yes.
Did he ever beat you?
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
And that was difficult to take, getting
Yes.
beaten and going on stage and performing.
Yes.
And why would he beat you?
Because he saw me, he wanted me to, I guess maybe, I don't know if I was his golden child or whatever it was. Some may call it a strict disciplinarian or whatever, but he was very strict, very hard, very stern.
Mm-hmm.
And just a look would scare you, and
Were you scared of him?
very frightened. There's been times when he'd come to see me and I would get sick.
Really?
I'd start to regurgitate.
As a child or as an adult?
Both.
Both.
He's never heard me say this. I'm sorry, please don't be mad at me.
Well, I mean, I suppose that everybody has to take responsibility for what they've done in life. And your father is one of those people who also has to take responsibility.
But I do love him.
Yes, I understand.
And I am forgiving.
Yes.
I don't go
But
around
can
with
you
the
really
chip.
forgive? I say this on my show all the time. Can you really forgive if you haven't gotten angry? If you haven't dealt with how you really feel? I don't know if you can go from having been abused to forgiveness.
I do forgive. There's so much garbage and so much trash that's written about me that is so untrue. They're complete lies. And those are some of the things I want to talk about. The press has made up so much god-awful, horrifying stories
I know.
that are completely appalling.
I know.
Completely appalling and so far from the truth. And it's made me to realize the more often a person tell a lie, the more times you hear a lie, I mean, you begin to believe it. If it's told often enough, you start to believe it. And it's appalling the things that have been said about me, and they're completely false.
There are so many. I normally don't write questions down, but there's so many. I didn't want to forget them. First of all, I have been in this house getting lit and getting prepared for this, and I've been all over the house upstairs when you weren't looking for that oxygen chamber. I cannot find the oxygen chamber anywhere in the house.
That story is so crazy. I mean, it's one of those tabloid things. It was completely made up.
Okay, but you are in something there. There's a picture of you.
Well,
where did that come from? How did it get started?
I did a commercial for Pepsi, and I was burned very badly. And we settled for like it was $1 million, and I gave all the money. We built this place called the Michael Jackson Burn Center, and that's a piece of technology that's used for burn victims, right? So I'm looking at the piece of technology, I'm touching it, feeling, and decide to just go inside of it just to hammer around. Somebody takes a picture. When they process the picture, the person who processes the picture say, "Oh, Michael Jackson. He made a copy." These pictures went all over the world with this lie attached to it. It's a complete lie. Why do people buy these papers and it's not the truth? And I'm here to say, do not judge a person. Do not pass judgment on anyone unless you have talked to them one-on-one. I don't care what the story is. Do not judge them because it's a lie.
But that story, you're right, that story it was like it had legs.
It's crazy.
It is.
Why would I want to sleep in a chamber?
Well, the rumor was that you were sleeping in the chamber because you didn't want to grow old, and that was
stupid. It's stupid. It's completely made up, and I'm embarrassed. I'm willing to forgive the press and forgive anybody. You know, I was taught to love and to forgive, which I do have in my heart. But please, don't believe these crazy, horrifying
Okay, let's go down the list. Did you buy the Elephant Man's bones?
No,
Were you trying to get them?
That's another stupid story.
Uh-huh.
I love the story of the Elephant Man. It reminds me of me a lot. You know, I could relate to it. It made me cry because I saw myself in the story. But no, I never asked for the Elephant Man. Where am I going to put some bones?
I don't know.
Why would I want a pair of bones?
I don't know. So where did that come from?
Someone makes it up and everybody believes it. If you hear a lie often enough, you start to believe it.
Yes, and people make money selling tabloids. Yeah. All right. Just recently there was a story, and I know one of your attorneys held a news conference. There was a story about you wanting to have a little white boy play you in a Pepsi commercial.
That is so stupid. That's the most ridiculous, horrifying story I've ever heard. It's crazy. I mean, why? Number one, it's my face as a child in the commercial. Me when I was little. Why would I want a white child to play me? I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity. That's like you wanting an Oriental person to play you as a child. Does that make sense?
No.
So please, people, stop believing these
Michael,
horrifying
then
stories.
Let's go to the thing that is most discussed about you, I think, is the fact that the color of your skin is obviously different than it was when you were younger.
Yes.
And so I think it has caused a great deal of speculation and controversy as to what you have done or are doing. Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons.
Okay, number one, this is the situation. Yes. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it. Okay? But what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller. Around Off the Wall Thriller.
And what did you think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private. But that's the situation here. So please, when people see something like that...
I just want to get this straight. Yeah. You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin?
Oh, God, no.
You did not purposely...
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin. But you know what's funny? Why is that so important? You know, that's not important to me. I'm a great fan of art. I love Michelangelo. If I had a chance to talk to him or read about him, I would want to know about what inspired him to become who he is, the anatomy of his craftsmanship, not about who he went out with last night, or why he decided to sit out in the sun so long. What's wrong with, I mean, that's what's important to me.
How much plastic surgery have you had?
Very, very little. You can count them on 2 fingers. I mean, let's say this. If you want to know about those things, all the nosy people in the world,
but once we say it, we don't have to say it anymore.
Read my book, Moonwalker. It's in my book. You know, let's just put it this way. If all the people in Hollywood who have had plastic surgery, if they went on vacation, there wouldn't be a person left in town.
I think you might be right.
I think I am right. I mean, the empty.
So did you start having plastic surgery because of those teen years, because of not liking the way you look?
No, not really.
Not really?
No, it's only 2 things. Read it, get my book. It's no big deal.
Okay. You don't want to tell me what it is? You had your nose done, obviously.
Yeah, but so did a lot of people that I know.
Yeah. And so when you hear all these things about you, and there have been more than we are even...
I've never had my cheekbones done, never had my eyes done, never had all that my lips done and all this stuff, they just go too far. I mean, it's crazy. But this is something that happens like every day with other people.
Are you pleased now with the way you look?
I'm never pleased with anything. I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
It's part of who I am.
And so when you look in the mirror now and the image that looks back at you, are there days when you say, well, I kind of like this, or I like my hair today, or
I'm never
I
pleased
think I'm
with
pretty
myself.
cute today?
No, I'm pretty cute today. No, I try not to look in the mirror. I really do, because I'm never happy with what I see. So I go on with my work and get it done.
I have to ask you this. So many mothers in my audience have said to please ask you this question.
Yeah.
Why do you always grab your crotch?
Why do I grab my crotch?
Yeah, why? We think you got a thing with your crotch going on here.
I think it happens subliminally. When I dance, if you're a dancer, you know, you're just interpreting the sounds and the accompaniment of the music. If there's a driving bass, you become the bass. If there's a cello, if there's a string, you become that. So you become the emotion of what that sound is, okay? So if I'm doing a movement and I go bam, and I grab myself, it's the music that compels me to do it. It's not saying I'm getting ready to grab down there and it's not a great place. You don't think about it, it just happens. Sometime I'll look back at the footage and I'll go, did I do that?
Yeah.
So I'm slave to the rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think the alarm's going off in the house. I don't know why. But we're going to fix it in a minute. We're in live television, so we're going to go to break. These things happen. We'll be right back.
Okay.
When you have broken all those records, when you have the #1 album ever sold, the #2 album ever sold, when you've broken every record there is to break, when you have become an icon in the industry, is there always the pressure to do something bigger and something better?
Oh, gee, that is something. It makes it harder each time to follow up. So you try to be as original as you can be without thinking about statistics. Just go from the soul and from the heart.
And so when you think of that, what do? You meditate, you think, well, I will now do the Super Bowl. I will now.
No. I just create out of my heart, really.
I want to tell everybody, too, since we're back and we're live, we weren't prepared for, and I know this house probably wasn't prepared for all the lights that are here. And what happened was that a smoke alarm went off from all the lights that are around, and that's what happened, and that's why we went to break. So I wanted to also make it clear, because this is another rumor that's starting, that the only way I could have gotten this interview was that I contractually agreed to call you the King of Pop. And I would just like to say to the world, Michael did not tell me to call him the King of Pop. As a matter of fact, I haven't called you the King of Pop once here. And I frankly think that the King of Pop is probably too limiting a title for you. I mean, I think that most of the world would agree that you're no doubt one of the greatest entertainers the world has ever seen. So you would be king of entertainment, or Liz Taylor said you were king of pop, rock, and soul. Where did this whole notion that you proclaimed yourself king of pop come from?
Well, I didn't proclaim myself to be anything. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be who I am. King of Pop was first said by Elizabeth Taylor on one of the award shows.
As a matter of fact, we have that. Let's roll that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1989 Heritage Award and Sammy Davis Jr. Award recipient, and in my estimation, the true king of pop, rock, and soul, Mr. Michael Jackson.
And that's where this all started?
Yes, and then fans, all the stadiums that we play, they bring big banners that say the King of Pop, and jackets that say the King of Pop, and T-shirts that say the King, and they chant it outside my hotel, King of Pop, King of Pop, King. So it just became something that just, that happens all over the world.
Happened.
Yeah.
But you didn't tell me to call you King of Pop.
No. Why would I tell you to call me King?
I've been calling you Michael.
Yeah, I think the press loves to just start trouble like that. I mean, again, do not read the tabloids, please. It's crazy.
Do you go out? Do you date?
Yes.
Who do you date?
Well, right now it's Brooke Shields. Well, we try not to just be everywhere and go it's mostly at home. She'll come over, I'll go to her house, because I don't like going out in the public.
Have you ever been in love?
Yeah.
With Brooke Shields?
Yes, and another girl.
Another girl? I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
So
I'm a gentleman.
So, okay, I would interpret that to mean that means that you believe that a lady is a lady, and therefore...
That's something that's private. I mean, you know, shouldn't be spoken about openly. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but, you know, to me that's very personal.
So you're not going to answer it?
I'm embarrassed.
So you're not going to answer it. Well, we would like to know whether or not there is a possibility that you are going to marry one day and have children.
I would feel that my life isn't complete if I do not, because I adore the family life. I adore children, and I adore that whole thing. And I would love to. That's one of my dreams, but I couldn't right now because I'm married. I am married, but to my work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married to my music, and it has to be that closeness in order to do the kind of work that I want to do. And
so what kind of woman makes you, I know in the video, wait a minute, no, in the video we're going to see later, we're premiering the world video, but you say there's a line where you talk about being quenched. So what kind of person does that for you?
Quench my desire.
Yeah, quench my desire.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, I've always liked her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when I was little, I used to stay with Diana Ross. Me and my brothers, we stayed with her for years. I've never said this, I always had a crush on her.
You did?
Yes.
I heard, too, this was another one of those rumors, that you had proposed to Elizabeth Taylor at some point?
Elizabeth Taylor is gorgeous, beautiful, and she still is today.
Yeah.
And I'm crazy about her.
Yeah, but did you propose to her?
I would like to have.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth Taylor is here. Liz, can we bring Liz in now? Liz had said that she wanted to be here to hold your hand through this. You don't look like you need your hand held.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Taylor!
Hello, no.
Hi.
Hi. Have a seat.
Nice
Have
to
a
see
seat.
you. Thank you.
Did Michael ever propose to you?
No. And I never proposed to him.
Never did. What do you think is most misunderstood about Michael Jackson, Liz?
All the things you mentioned. He is the least weird man I've ever known.
Mm-hmm.
He is highly intelligent, shrewd, intuitive, understanding, sympathetic, generous to almost a fault of himself.
Uh-huh.
And he just, if he has any eccentricities, it's that he is like larger than life, and some people just can't accept that or face it or understand it. His talent on stage, why I called him the king of pop, rock, soul, music, entertainment, whatever.
Yes.
There's nobody that can come near him.
Yeah.
Nobody can dance like that, write the lyrics like that, the music, cause the kind of excitement that he does.
And why do you think you all are such friends? What has brought this kind of bond? Because people tried to make this be weird.
Well, it's not. I mean, our childhoods are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that from the very beginning in common. I was a child star at 9, had an abusive father, and that kind of brought us close together in the very beginning.
And what is it, I'm going to ask Michael this question later on, but what is it you most want the world to know about him?
What a wonderful, giving, caring, generous man he is, and how good he is.
And he's funny, too.
Oh, he's wildly funny.
He can crack some jokes, I tell you.
Yeah, but he's a good man.
Thank you for joining us, too, because
That's
I know you
fine.
didn't want to be on camera at first, but thank you. We're coming from Michael's house down to this amazing amusement park, which is, about several hundred yards, I guess, from the house. And this it's incredible.
Thank you.
And I want to know whether or not you did this for yourself, or did you do it for all the children that you entertain here?
For myself and the children. Every 3 weeks we have terminally ill children that come to to the house.
Yeah.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, Dream Street,
Every 3 weeks?
Starlight, yes. And these are sick children, children with cancer, and I entertain them. And they come here.
This is
and they enjoy
unbelievable.
themselves.
And what I have to say is these are not, as I was talking to some kids who were here, these aren't just grandma rides here. These are some major rides. I mean, the Sea Dragon and the Ferris wheel, and there's that zipper over there.
The Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout. There are bumper cars here. It's really...
Thank you. Well, it brings out the child that lives inside of everybody. I love rides and things like that. But
were you able to do it when you were a kid? And
not really. Sometime, but not often enough.
But now you can anytime.
Every
how often
day
do you
right
actually?
in my backyard.
How often do you actually come out here and do this?
Whenever I'm here, I come out and I go on the ride.
Well, is this a part of you? What we were talking about earlier, the pain of growing up and not being able to experience all the things that kids normally experience, and so now you are fulfilling all of those fantasies.
You compensate, yes.
Really?
Yes, it's very true.
Do you think you can ever really recapture it, though? Does it feel the same? I mean, I don't know.
It's more fun. I wouldn't
really?
change the past if I had to.
Would not.
I'm enjoying myself.
And here we are inside the theater. I had one too many sugar babies here the other day at the candy counter. But the candy's here for all the kids, and Pinocchio's here, and E.T.'s here. What's fascinating to me about you is that obviously you have this childlike aura about you. And I see children with you, and they play with you like you are one of them. But a child did not do this. A child did not put this together.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, this is really magnificent.
Well, thank you. I love to do things for children, and I try to imitate Jesus. And I'm not saying I am Jesus. I'm not saying
we're clear on that.
Right. I'm trying to imitate Jesus in the fact that he said to be like children, to love children, to be as pure as children are, and to make yourselves as innocent and see the world through eyes of wonderment and the whole magical quality of it all. And I love that. And we have the children, like we'll have like 100 bald-headed children here who they all have cancer, and they're running around and they're enjoying themselves, and it just makes me cry happy tears that I was able to do that for them. You know? It makes me so pleased inside.
Well, when I came here to about a month ago to shoot commercials with you to promoting tonight's event, one of the things that really impressed me the most, and I hope you guys are getting shot to this. I don't know how you are if all the cameras are on us, but we got other cameras. Is that there are built inside the walls here beds for some of those sick children who come. And what I realized when I saw that is that you have to be a person who really cares about children to build it into your architecture.
Yes. We have children that come who are intravenously, they're very sick and they're bedridden, and they
can't sit up.
Right, they can't sit up. And these beds, they're hospital beds. You push a button, they move up and they move down, and they're able to watch. We have a magic show. We show the current films, if it's cartoons, anything, you know, and anything so they can escape to that world of magic that they don't get a chance to experience, the world that I was deprived of.
Now let me ask you this.
Little.
You know, I believe everything happens in people's lives for a reason. Do you think that had you not missed a lot of the life and fun and fantasy of childhood, that you would be so in touch with children today? Would you relate to them as you do?
I probably would, but not as much. That's why I wouldn't change a thing. Really? Because I'm happy with the way things are and my caring for young people and everything.
Are you really happy now? Because you've seemed sad for a long time.
I was sad for years and years and years, but I'm happy. I'm getting there, yes. I'm very happy.
And what's made you happier?
Being able to give back, you know, and to help people. Heal the World Foundation, which I formed, which helps children and healing in the world. We're doing Heal LA, which is, we have 3 goals in mind: the immunization of children, mentoring a big sister, big brother program, and education on drug abuse. And Jimmy Carter has teamed up with us to do Heal Atlanta. And we're going to go from state to state healing. You know, we've done Sarajevo, we've done lots of places.
I know, we have photographs of you from all over the world where you're with all of these children. One of the things I was saying before we went to the last break, before the alarm went off in the house and all of that, is that we were talking about the rumors. One of the strangest ones I heard was that when you're moonwalking, you're faking it, that you have some mirrors in your socks someplace, and that it's not really real.
No, that's not true. Just
How did you, first of all, you know, we've spent so much time trying to dispel the rumors, trying to get the truth out, that I haven't had a really opportunity to talk to you about how you conceive your music, how you conceive the dance. Where did the moonwalk come from, actually?
Well, the moonwalk came from these beautiful children, these black kids who live in the ghettos and, you know, the inner cities, who are brilliant. They just have that natural talent for dancing. Any of the new the Running Man, any of these dances, they come up with these dances. All I did was enhance the dance.
Okay, I want to see you dance. I want to see you dance.
No.
I want to see you dance live.
No, I can show you a step or two,
okay.
But I'm a little rusty right now.
A little rusty.
Well, that's the moonwalk. Wait, did you catch it from the sideways?
Got to turn sideways?
Are you from the front?
Yeah, we got you.
From the sideways.
Okay, just show me slow motion. Could you show me slow motion?
Okay. Wait. It's like, it's pushing and then there's, it's mainly like a popping type of thing. Well, I'm sorry.
I saw it live. I saw it live. I saw it live. And so you took it from the kids who were doing it.
Yeah, because I think they're the real dancers.
Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before to shoot that commercial, you were preparing for the Super Bowl.
You were supposed to do this with me.
I don't know how to do this. You know I don't know how to do this. You know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only things ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance. And that is the truth. When we were here the last time shooting the commercial, you were like in between shots, running off, conceiving the dance, choreographing the dance. You were up all night dancing.
On the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm never satisfied. Even when I see something that I've done and people say, oh, it was phenomenal. When I did Motown 25 and I did the moonwalk for the first time, I was backstage crying afterwards because I was unhappy.
You cried after Motown 25?
After Motown 25. But then as I was walking to the car, there was this little boy, he was like 12, he was a little Jewish kid, and he said, you're amazing. Who taught you to ever dance like that? And for the first time, I felt I did a good job because I know children don't lie, and I just felt so good about it then.
You wanted to, you felt so good, you probably wanted to say, hee hee. I want you to sing something a cappella for me if you can.
Oh, no. What could I sing?
Who is it? You know, that whole, do that little beat thing. Since we're here in the theater.
Oh, boy. What could I sing? Who is it?
Where did that hee-hee thing come from?
It comes out of singing. Wait.
Music video used to just be people singing their song until you came along and changed music videos. Did you know when you first conceived your first one, that's what you were doing?
Yeah, the idea was to make something that was a story, so it had a beginning, a middle, and an ending. And you could follow, like a mini movie. That's what I wanted to do. And that's what we did with Beat It and Thriller and Smooth Criminal and all those types of things.
So when you start to look at a piece of work or look at a piece of music, are you already thinking about how you're going to?
Sometime, yes. Yes, that's very true.
I wonder what it feels like. I will never know since I cannot sing one thing, but what it feels like to be on stage with a sea of people, a sea of people. One of the things that has impressed me in putting the pieces together for you is all around the world, the response to you is so incredible. So when you're standing there and there's a sea of people responding to you, screaming your name as they were, what does that feel like?
Love. You feel lots of love, and I feel blessed and honored to be able to be an instrument of nature that was chosen to give them that, what I give them. I'm very honored and happy about that.
An instrument of nature, that's an interesting way to describe yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you very spiritual?
In what sense?
I mean, do you meditate? Do you understand that there's something bigger than yourself at work here?
I believe in God, absolutely. Absolutely. Very much.
And I believe everybody comes to the world for a reason, I think. Most of us spend our lives trying to figure out what the purpose of our being here is. What do you think yours is?
My purpose? Oh boy, I think to give in the best way I can through song and through dance and through music. I mean, I am committed to my art. I believe that all art has as its ultimate goal the union between the material and the spiritual, the human and the divine. I believe that to be the reason for the very existence of art. And I feel I was chosen as an instrument to just give music and love and harmony to the world, to children of all ages, and adults and teenagers.
Do you think that by talking now, setting the record straight for yourself, that maybe people will be able to focus more attention on your music and not judge you for anything other than the kind of music that you play?
I would hope so. I would love that.
Well, I hope that comes out of this too.
Give In to Me. I wanted to write another song, you know, that was kind of exciting and fun and had a rock edge to it, you know, when I did Beat It and Black or White. And Slash, who is a dear friend of mine, we love animals and things like that. He wanted to play guitar, and I wanted him to play guitar on it. And we got together, and we went to Germany, and we shot this thing in just like 2 hours, really. We had no time at all to shoot it. We wanted it to be something exciting and fantastical and fans, and, you know, like it's our rock concert. And that's the result of. You
mentioned animals, and I know everyone's going to ask me when I leave here, where are all the animals? I said in the opening, I expected chimps to be jumping all over the living room, and I didn't see any. Where's Bubbles?
Well, the animals are everywhere. They're in their habitats. They're all over the ranch, and they come out in the daytime, and they play, and they jump around. They have their own playground in their area.
Why were you so fascinated by animals, do you think?
Because I find in animals the same thing that I find so wonderful in children, that purity, that honesty, where they don't judge you, they don't want anything from you, just to be your friend. And I think that's so sweet.
I do too. I think we've cleared up all the rumors, though. There are no chimps running around the house, no oxygen tank in the house. I don't know. Are you going to lay off the crotch a little bit?
Ask the music.
Ask the music, will he lay off the crotch? Oh, we didn't get about the inauguration. Did you tell President Clinton that you had to be the only person there singing?
That is horrible. That is the stupidest, craziest story I have ever heard. I mean, why would I just want me? Nobody else could be on the show, just me. I mean, that's so stupid to me. I mean, it's crazy. That's not even in my heart. I would never say anything like that. Again, somebody made it up and the whole world believed it. It is so false. It's incredible.
What do you want the world to know about you most? I asked Liz that of you. What do you want them to know?
Like to be remembered for?
Well, not be remembered for. What about known for now? Forget remembered.
Oh, known for now. As to be an artist, a great artist. I love what I do, and I would love people to love what I do. And to be loved, I just simply want to be loved wherever I go, all over the world, because I love people of all races from my heart with true affection.
You know, Gene Siskel, who's a movie critic, asked me this question once, and I love the question. So I'm going to ask you. You're 34 years old. What do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure?
What do you know for sure?
Oh, boy. I'm still learning. I mean, life is an education for me. I can't say I know anything for sure.
Well,
I really believe that.
I can't thank you enough for letting us in, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. I love being here because it makes me feel like a child again, and one of the things I promised myself was when this interview was over, live around the world, I was going to go get on that Ferris wheel, and that is exactly what I intend to do. I'm going to take off my blue shoes, and I'm going to ride on the Ferris wheel. I'm going to have a good time, but have myself
the two of you, I have got to start by asking how this marriage took place, how it began. Let me guess that it was not over miniature golf and a hot dog someplace. When did it start? When was the dating?
Well, we first met. She was 7 years old and I was 17. This was in Las Vegas. She used to come and see my show all the time. We had the only family show on the Strip. It's the Jackson 5, and she used to come as a little girl and sit right up front. She came quite often. She came with a lot of bodyguards. And
had you stayed in touch over all these years?
Sure. And then she'd come backstage then I'd, you know, talk and say hi, and then she'd come again. And I thought she was sweet and loving, and I always hoped I'd see her again.
And who first talked about marriage?
We didn't stay in touch after
We didn't
that.
stay in touch after that, no.
He had, go ahead. You want to say it? What happened
No,
later
you can
with
say. You have a good memory.
No, you said you were going to say it.
Our first argument here on this hour. Who proposed? I mean, how did marriage actually get discussed?
Well,
At first, this is what happened. When she was 18, I used to tell my lawyer, John Branca, do you know Lisa Marie Presley? He'd go, well, I represent her mother. I go, well, can you get in touch with her? Because I think she's really cute. And he'd laugh every time. He goes, I'll do my best. That's what he'd say. Then he'd come back. I said, well, did you find out? He said, no, there's nothing. So I would worry him about this all the time. The next thing I noticed, there's a picture on a magazine cover where she's married, which really tore me to pieces. And then, because I felt that was supposed to be me. I really did.
And what was the countdown to your marriage? Tell me who said the word marriage first.
I did.
he did.
I did.
When? Where?
When?
On
Where?
the telephone.
Oh, yeah, on the telephone.
He first asked me.
When?
We were dating now for 4 months. Right? 4 months?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, we were spending a lot of time together. I don't know how I didn't manage to get in the press because we weren't hiding it. I was in Las Vegas. We were in Neverland. We were everywhere. I went to Atlanta. We were in bookstores. We were not hiding it.
And you said yes right away?
I was separated for 4 months, and he said, what would you do if I asked you to marry me? And I said, I would.
Big I would, though. You were really enthusiastic.
I have to ask you this because I can only imagine there are a number of lawyers involved in a prenuptial agreement between these two fortunes. Mm-hmm. Is there one? A careful one?
Well, we've worked out things and we've signed certain things, but of course, that's very confidential.
We agree. We made agreements prior, yes.
As you know, the reaction to this marriage, and I know you feel strongly about it, but the reaction to this marriage has been across the spectrum, everything from astonishment to delight to suspicion, that it was somehow too convenient. Lisa, did you ask Michael about the charges? Did the two of you talk about the impact of the marriage on the allegations?
Absolutely not. He called, I was in touch with him through the whole process of this charges going on. I was talking to him when he disappeared. I was actually supposed to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico when he left and disappeared, and I got a call that he wasn't going to be there, and I was actually part of the whole thing with him, but talking to him on the phone. So I didn't...
Did you say to him, are they true?
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come back to the marriage.
Sorry. He went on and on and on about it, so I didn't really have to say, are the allegations true? It was, you know, on the phone, you know, and
over and over
just
again.
Constant, yeah.
Well, because I know that you've wanted to express similar sentiments for a long time, I want to ask a few things about the charges, but first I want to establish for the viewers here, there are no ground rules. You have said to me you are not afraid of any questions. So I wanted that understood by everybody before we proceed. I think I want to begin by making sure that the terms are clear. You have said that you would never harm a child. I want to be specific as I can. Did you ever, as this young boy said you did you ever sexually engage, fondle, have sexual contact with this child or any other child?
Never, ever. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
And what do you think should be done to someone who does that?
To someone who does that, what I think it should be done, gee, I think they need help in some kind of way, you know?
How about the police photographs, though? How was there enough information from this boy about those kinds of things?
The police photographs that they took of me.
Yes.
There was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm sitting here talking to you today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect me.
So when we've heard that there was a marking of some kind.
No markings.
No markings.
No.
Why did you
Why am I still here then?
You're not going to ask me about that, are you? Sorry about the markings.
You can volunteer.
No, the point is that when that finally got concluded that there was no matchup, then it was printed this big, as opposed to how big it was, what the matchup was supposed to be.
It didn't work. It isn't so. The whole thing is a lie.
Why did you settle the case then? Why did you settle the case? And it looks to everyone as if you paid a huge amount of money.
Most of that's
to get
folklore.
silence.
I talked to my lawyers and I said, can you guarantee me that justice will prevail? And they said, Michael, we cannot guarantee you that a judge or a jury will do anything. And with that, I was like catatonic. I was outraged.
How much money was
Totally
it?
outraged. So what I said, I have got to do something to get out from under this nightmare. All these lies and all these people coming forward to get paid and these tabloid shows, just lies, 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 lies. So what I did, we got together again with my advisors and they advised me, it was hands down, a unanimous decision, resolve the case. This could be something that could go on for 7 years.
How much money
was it?
was
Let's get it behind us.
Can you say how much?
It's not what the tabloids have printed. It's not all this crazy outlandish money. No, it's not at all. I mean, the terms of the agreement are very confidential.
I want to ask barred to discuss it.
The specific
terms,
so
what specific amounts.
The idea is just isn't fair. What they put me through, because there wasn't one piece of information that says I did that. And anyway, they turned my room upside down, went through all my books, all my videotapes, all my private things, and they found nothing that can say Michael Jackson did this. Nothing.
But let me ask you
to
a
this
couple
day,
of questions.
Nothing. Still nothing.
Let me ask
nothing,
you a couple.
Nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing. As you may or may not know, we have called everyone we can call. We have checked everything we can check. We have gone and tried to see if what we heard before is in fact the case. I want to ask you about two things. These reports that we read over and over again, that in your rooms they found photographs of young boys, not of adults.
Young boys, there's children, all kind of girls and everything.
And that they found photographs, books, of young boys who were undressed.
No.
Didn't happen.
No, not that I know of, unless people sent me things that I haven't opened. People know my love for children, so they send me books from all over the world, from South America, from Germany, from Italy, from Sweden.
So if people say that they found those things, if there's an indication, let them come forward, let them produce them, right?
Yeah, because I get all you wouldn't believe the amounts of mail that I get. And if you say to somebody, you know, if I let the fans know I love Charlie Chaplin, I'll be swarmed in Charlie Chaplin paraphernalia. But if I say I love children, which I do, they swarm me with everything pertaining to kids.
Any other settlements in process now or previously with children making these kinds of claims? We have heard that there is one, not a case that the prosecutors would bring in court, but that once again, you're talking about shelling out.
No, that's not true. No, it's not true. I think I've heard everything is fine and there are no others.
I guess, let me ask this, and I'm trying to think how to phrase it, though. I can hear out in the country people saying, and you've been cleared of all the charges, we want to make that clear. People saying, look, here is a man who is surrounded by things that children love. Here is a man who spent an inordinate amount of time with these young boys.
That's right.
What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy, or a series of them?
Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Come on, that's ridiculous. And that's a ridiculous question. But since people want to hear it, you know, the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed, ever. Children love me, I love them. They follow me, they want to be with me. But anybody can come in my bed. A child can come in my bed if they want.
I can say, sorry, I've seen this. I've seen it a lot. I've seen kids. I've seen him with children in the last year. I've seen it enough to where I can see how that can happen. It's, you know, I understand.
Isn't part of being an adult, and you have a 2-year-old child, 2-year-old boy.
Yeah, let me just, sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I've seen these children, they don't let him go to the bathroom without running in there with them. And they won't let him out of their sight. So when he jumps in the bed, I'm even out. You know, they jump in the bed with him.
But isn't part of being an adult and loving children, keeping children from ambiguous situations? And again, we're talking about over an intense period of time here. Would you let your son, when he grows up and is 12 years old, do that?
You know what, if I didn't know who Michael, no way. But I happen to know who he is and what he is. And that makes it You know, I know that he's not, you know, I know that he's not like that, and I know he has a thing for children, and I, go ahead, sorry.
I just wonder, is it over? You're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. I think this is really the key thing people want to know, that there are not going to be more of these sleepovers in which people have to wonder.
Nobody wonders when kids sleep over at my house.
But
Nobody
are they
wonders.
over? Are you going to watch out for it now?
Watch out for
just
what?
for the sake of the children and for
No,
everything
because
you've been through?
it's all moral and it's all pure. I don't even think that way. It's not what's in my heart.
So you'll
I would
do it
never,
again?
ever do what again?
I mean, you'll have a child sleeping over.
Of course. They want.
Yes.
It's on the level of purity and love and just innocence, complete innocence. If you're talking about sex, and that's a nut. That's not me. Go to the guy down the street, because it's not Michael Jackson. It's not what I'm interested in.
Okay, but Elizabeth Taylor, talk to us a little bit about what she saw when she went over and talked to you in the middle of this, what she called agony. One of the things she was so, I think she was so angry about with us was that she said people always talk about one side of a person, they never give them credit for their accomplishments.
That's right.
Particularly what they give to children and the money you give to children. That's how it starts.
When he's on tour, he goes to hospitals without the press following him, without anyone knowing. He'll get up in a disguise and do it, take his disguise off when he's there, and kids know, wow, it's Michael Jackson.
Was there no point at which you said to yourself, reading everything everybody had been reading, maybe this is true, maybe I completely didn't understand who he was?
No way. Absolutely not.
Never?
Never. I know Michael's heart. I know his mind and his soul. I'm not that insensitive, especially to him or people I love.
How did you decide to go to Singapore?
He was my friend. He was alone. He was totally alone. And he just, he needed help. Nothing in the world could have hurt him more if it had been calculated. If they'd planned an assassination, they couldn't have done it any better. It all.
She says she recognized a friend turning to painkillers for escape.
He wasn't aware of what was happening. He was dulling his pain. But it really frightened me because I have been there. And I know how easy it is to get there when you're in mental or physical pain.
And he knew right away that he had to deal with it too?
Not right away. Not right away, but he knew.
There were some reports during this period, Michael, that it was such agony for you that you were actually suicidal. Is that true?
I was never suicidal. I love life too much to ever be suicidal. I'm resilient. I have rhinoceros skin. Never, ever suicidal.
Did it leave you, though...
Heartbroken, but not suicidal.
Did it leave you changed completely? I've talked to you a little bit about what you're thinking about, where you want to live in the world. Did it change your view about living here? You're thinking about living someplace else?
I don't care to stay in America anymore, no. I don't care. I will always have Neverland, you know, because I love Neverland. But I don't like, I'm very sensitive to the smog, you know, so I can't have the smog. And I would like to go abroad. Matter of fact, I am.
You are? Where?
Yes. Oh, I haven't decided the exact place yet. Probably South Africa.
To
maybe.
live permanently?
Maybe Switzerland.
Lisa, are
Can
you
we just
in
change,
favor of it?
Wait, just go into the fact that we don't live in separate houses to start
Yeah,
this
we don't
with?
live in separate, this is just
This is
me
ridiculous, wherever the camera is. Anyway, sorry.
dreaming. No, jump in.
What do I feel about the overseas thing? I think that it's a nice place to visit, yes. I would like to have a house over there.
Mm.
Would be completely and utterly harassed beyond belief, but...
We have some wedding video of the two of you, and I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here. If our director, Roger Goodman, wants to roll it in, we will take you there a year ago, right?
Yes.
Just about exactly.
I look like an idiot, I can tell you that.
You don't look like an idiot. You look more like a, no.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
You're watching it.
Tell us.
Oh, we're watching.
Tell us, we're watching here live.
Acepta usted por legítima esposa al señor Michael Joseph Jackson. Lisa Marie Presley too. Yeah. Do you accept Michael Presley? Michael
I do.
Michael Joseph.
I do. In the middle, he asks for his autograph.
Yo, licenciado Hugo Francisco Álvarez Pérez.
Licenciado
You know,
Álvarez Pérez.
Oficial de Estados
more.
Unidos de la República Dominicana.
Right, but now we're out of time.
Los declaro unidos en legítimo matrimonio.
Okay, if you have the rings.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, and then we're gonna do the rings. Okay.
You do it?
Yes.
He do it.
How do I know?
He does first. You put it on her first, okay? And when you put it, you say, with this ring, I do it.
This ring, I do it.
Right. And you do it the same thing. When you put his ring, as you say, with this ring, I do it.
Right now?
So I know that you, Lisa Marie, have wanted to talk about this. There are a lot of doubters about this marriage. I've heard that it's a Scientology plan. You were a member of the Church of Scientology, which is said to influence its members greatly, and that the husband you divorced was Scientologist, and he's still very much in your life, and this is all part of a calculation to get Michael and his money into the church.
Yeah, it's crap. I'm sorry. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm not, first of all, you can't get influenced by anything like that, and under a term of a marriage. I'm not going to marry somebody for any reason other than the fact that I fall in love with them. Period. Period. And they can eat it if they want to think anything different.
To put it succinctly.
Yeah.
What is it you love the most about him?
What do I love the most about him? Everything. He's amazing. I really admire him. I respect him. I admire him. I'm in love with him. And no, we don't sleep in separate bedrooms. Thank you very much. And I love everything about him.
To finish up on that, though, are you a Scientologist? Or
No.
No. Plan to become one?
I believe in spirituality, and I believe in a higher source, such as God, but I'm not a Scientologist. I read everything, and I like to read. I love to study.
You said you don't sleep in separate bedrooms, and I'm going to confess, okay, this is live TV, and I'm copping out right here because I didn't spend my life as a serious journalist to ask these kinds of questions. But I'm not oblivious to the fact that your fans had one question they most wanted to ask of you.
Do we have sex?
We have you.
She didn't ask.
I didn't ask.
I won't ask. Okay.
You don't know what it was going to be.
Is that what you were going to ask?
Let's play just a minute or
Sorry.
two. Let's play one or two.
We want to know if you've done the thing.
Michael, I know that this is an intimate question, but are you having sex together with Lisa Marie?
Do you guys really love each other, or you're just doing this to satisfy the media?
Are you guys intimate?
Again,
I can't believe
Wow.
But this is about the skepticism.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And we have read in the papers that you are expecting a child.
We will be expecting a child. No, when, I'm not going to.
We're not going to say when.
It's
Or
personal.
It's in the hands of the heavens.
But not yet.
Did we marry out of convenience? That's really interesting to me.
That's
It's really
ridiculous.
interesting to me.
Why?
Well, why wouldn't we have a lot in common? That's the question. Why? Why not?
Like we're faking this?
Like,
That's the
no,
most ridiculous
but you can't
thing
live
in the
with
world.
somebody day to day. We're together all the time, first of all. Second thing, how can you fake that 24 hours a day with somebody, sleeping with somebody, waking up with somebody, having
The
to...
dumbest thing
He's
I've
running
ever
around the
heard.
house, I'm running around the house, you were in our house, we have a normal house, we have a nanny, we have a maid, and we walk around, and he's either in the studio, I'm in the kitchen, we're running around like normal. I know it's hard to believe people.
You go shopping together,
We go shopping, we go out to dinner, we argue sometimes.
And
about what, may I say?
We also
No,
heard a report that maybe you were planning to adopt the children.
Oh, I would love to adopt children. I think that's something I've always wanted to do. But children of all races, Arab children, Jewish children, black children, it's all races.
But Lisa's children,
I love Lisa's children, but it's been a
not
mission.
going to adopt, or
Pardon?
To adopt them, though.
Oh, I love her children. They're sweet.
But to adopt, no.
Of course.
They have a biological father, and he's their...
I think they love me very much. I love them.
They do.
We have a lot of fun.
But I've never heard of that before, personally, of someone adopting someone's children while they're in a relationship with that person.
We're going to show you a film now created by Michael Jackson, and it is causing a furor in some movie theaters around this country. They say, among other things, that it is clearly modeled after Triumph of the Will, Leni Riefenstahl a Nazi film with
It's not
Nazi
true. None of that's
imagery.
true. None of those things are true.
Did you watch that film before you did it?
I watch everything. I love movies. I love documentaries. Had nothing to do with that at all.
But there are people who keep saying, this is, they look at it and say, this is...
Absolutely not.
You know what?
Nothing to do with politics or communism or fascism.
Well,
at all.
The critics have said that it's the most boldly vainglorious self-deification a pop singer ever undertook with a straight face.
Good. That's what I wanted.
For the controversy?
Yeah.
And
they fell into my trap.
For the people who say that...
I wanted everybody's attention.
There's been another issue raised. In a song you say, "Jew me, sue me," and some people are saying that that is anti-Semitic.
It's not anti-Semitic because I'm not a racist person. I could never be a racist. I love all races of people, from Arabs to Jewish people, like I said before, to blacks. But when I say Jew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me, I'm talking about myself as the victim. You know, my accountants and lawyers are Jewish. My 3 best friends are Jewish. David Geffen, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg, Mike Milken. These are friends of mine. They're all Jewish. So how does that make sense? I was raised in a Jewish community.
I want to ask you both about something, because it was the second most asked question by people on the street. And I know it's a sensitive issue for you, and you talked with Oprah about it. But somehow people still are not, they don't feel they've heard everything about the whiteness of your skin, and that it's not somehow a choice on your part, along with the makeup, to be, is it to be neither black or white, neither to look completely male, to be in the androgynous zone? I think they want to know, it is a decision on your part some way, the way you look. Where does it come from?
I think it creates itself. Nature.
He's an artist. He has every right, and he is constantly remodifying something or changing it or reconstructing it or, you know, working on some imperfection that he thinks needs to be worked on. If he sees something he doesn't like, he changes it. Period. He re-sculpted himself. He's an artist.
I might want to put a red dot right there one day. But 2 eyes right here.
Do you wish you were the color you were again?
Do I wish I was the color? You have to ask nature that. I love black. I love.
Do you wish you were that way?
I envy her because she can tan and I can't.
One more question I want to make sure I ask. Are you going to sing together?
No.
I would love to sing with you. Would you like to sing with me?
You don't sing?
I don't sing. I did sing, but that's not why I married Michael. I don't need that. That's ridiculous. If I wanted it, I mean, I'm not going to marry someone for a recording career, just to clear that up as well.
What? Stop. And as our hour ends, I'd like to just ask each of you for a one-sentence answer. Time's so short. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Oh, boy. I love what I'm doing now, and to do everything I can to help the children. And hello, Bobby Sherritt.
I just want people to know what they're dealing with before and understand that I'm not the, you know, that we are not. The jokes, the degrading comments, all that kind of stuff, it's really irritating. So I didn't get to get into that. This is over already, but
we want to choke them.
All right.
Yeah,
so 5 years.
Don't believe the garbage. All the tabloid junk. Don't read it. Don't listen to it. It's garbage. It's junk. It's stupid.
And so,
enough of it.
And tonight is over.
As far back as I can remember, I've been in front of the camera. Not just the TV cameras, but I'm talking about my family taking home movies of me when I was really, really little. We lived in Gary, Indiana. My father worked in a steel mill, and we lived on a street called Jackson Street. Coincidentally, that was the name of the street. And imagine 9 kids living in a 2-bedroom house. We had to wait in line to take baths, and that's a snowball fight, I think. Wrestling in the snow, that's me on the far right. I don't want nothing to do with it. They were pretty rough. Yeah, that's me, I'm freezing. I think that's Tito on the ground. Just the living room. We would move out all the furniture, and I remember, and we would dance and perform. And we loved it. You could see the smile on my face that I loved it. And My father was standing right in front of us, watching us, making sure we did everything just right. That little girl that my mother is holding is Janet, who is now Mrs. Rhythm Nation. And that's a party. We played a lot of parties. We're actually performing the music that they're dancing to. That's the guitars. You look in the back, you see me spinning around right there. And my mother made all of our costumes. We did parties, we opened shopping centers, we did any kind of thing, you know. But we traveled constantly every night. The record company usually like for you to support your album and go on tour. And I don't like to. I do like relating to the fans, giving the fans a chance to see you face to face, because you go from Hong Kong to Africa to China to Brazil to, you know, Singapore, Switzerland, London, Paris, Russia, and the stadiums are just jammed, and the energy is great. It's fantastic. And we have, I mean, I don't know how they enjoy the show, because it's festival seating. They don't want chairs. Even if there were chairs, they would stand on them and just, so we have a tent on the side. It's usually like 5,000 faints every night, and we have all these doctors and paramedics, but it's a difficult thing to tour. You go from one continent to another, you're sleepy, the time zones are different, you can't sleep after the show, the adrenaline is up here.
Well, can we just do it again without just the negative, saying that you don't like the tour? Just
I don't like it though.
I know, but see, this
I
is,
go through
but what
hell.
Is it setting up though? I don't understand.
I go through hell touring. Okay, then I'll make it positive then.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, you know the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And action, Michael.
I love to tour. You guys messed that up.
Just say.
Why you all start laughing? I'm ready to get into it. No, but seriously, there is a good part of touring. It's the fans. I love my fans. You go to any city, anywhere in the world, they know all the songs, all the dance moves, everything. They even come with the tape on their fingers, the hats and the gloves and everything. It's just a wonderful experience. I love it. The fans are the reason why I do the tours. And it's very important to give the best show that we can possibly give them.
As far as cautiousness and being alert and musicianship, you guys are wonderful. I can say the same for wardrobe and technology, but I can't. They made a couple of mistakes yesterday. You were great, voice. It wasn't your fault, I have to say. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we're going to get out of it. Okay? Go!
I've met a lot of people in my life, and very few are real friends. You can probably count them on one hand. And Elizabeth is one of the most loyal, loving, caring people that I know. She decided to transform Neverland into its first Christmas, because I don't celebrate Christmas.
It is 1993, and this will be Michael Jackson's very first Christmas. It has taken me, I would think, about 5 years of talking him into celebrating Christmas at Netherlands, because I understood that if you are a Jehovah's Witness, they don't celebrate Christmas. When he quit being a Jehovah's Witness, I said to Michael, I think Christmas is a wonderful way of celebrating love. It's a celebration of love. And I can't see Christmas without Michael, or Michael without Christmas. It's pretty, isn't it?
I had no idea she was planning this. This was a real surprise.
Michael?
That's my bedroom that she's coming to now.
Michael? It's the spirit of Christmas. Come to haunt you.
I'm not easy to wake up.
Michael! Don't jump at the sight of my little dog.
She know I don't like that dog because I'm afraid of dogs. They're little, but they bite.
Oh, you so good. Come on. Welcome to your first Christmas.
Oh my God. It's incredible. I can't believe this. This is the first time.
I know.
She decorated the entire house.
That's yours.
Santa King?
Santa from Bel Air.
Santa from Bel Air. Can I open it?
Sure.
At the same time, it's exciting. I felt guilty, too, at the same time. I remember going in the bathroom crying later because I felt I had done something wrong because I was raised not to ever celebrate it.
Ooh, love it.
I do have one.
Yes, put it on right now. Realizing you're photographing me without any makeup on.
Love it. Super soaker. Now I know how to wake up Elizabeth tomorrow.
How? It's awful noise. Oh my God!
You better lock your door.
A shooting gallery.
This shit is a super soaker. I can feel it and tell.
And it says, I want a squirt gun. I want a squirt machine gun.
She's snatching presents. And I have this one. It's for you, but can I have it?
Yes.
Thank you. What is it? It's a water gun. A water gun.
How do you know it's water gun?
Because I see it at the top.
That's not fair.
It's a super soaker.
Take it.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Plastic suit.
Super soaker. Yeah.
If you're wondering why I love Super Soaker so much, it's because if you come to Neverland, it's a rule that you are bound to get wet. Either be thrown in the pool, or you have a water balloon fight, or a Super Soaker fight. And I love all of the above. That's Janet. We think so much alike.
I love this.
And here come Macaulay Culkin.
You ready?
Come on, Daddy.
Go on, Daddy.
See, Mac takes big buckets of water and throw them on. He cheats a lot, but he's fun. He loves to have fun, just like me. We're off to the field. Super Soakers are really high tech. They got some really great ones now. That's Mac's older brother, Shane. Okay, we're preparing the water balloon fight. What's the name of our group this time?
What do you feel like?
What were we last time? That was Legions of Doom. We had teams. We used the whole ranch. My favorite thing in the world to play, if you call it a sport, is I like the way they splatter when they hit. I've never lost a water balloon fight. I'm the Michael Jordan of water balloon fighting. Legions of Doom.
Yay.
We won the fight again and again.
But Janet, what's it like on the winning team?
If he's gonna
That's
get me.
great.
This is the face of a person who would do something like that. I'm gonna be innocent. Right? I mean, I went through this entire water balloon fight.
Victory! Victory!
Completely dry. But knowing Macaulay Culkin, he made sure, he schemed on me. He told me to go up on the diving board, and I went up there like a nut.
Ah! No! I'll kill you! I will kill you, Mac! Mac, I'm going to annihilate you.
One of my interviews, it's my dream to go in a supermarket and just shop and be like everybody else and put things in a basket, because I can't do it. Because when I try to do it, people crowd around you, they want autographs and they want you to sign things and take pictures. That's why I love disguises so much. I could sit on a bench at Disneyland and see what people really do and talk about. But when they see it's Michael Jackson, they change. I don't see the real thing, you know. So I want to see the real world, what it's really like, and it's very difficult. So a good friend of mine who owns this mall, he had them close the whole shopping mall, and he had people in there that I knew pretending as if they were shopping, so it felt like, you know, it was a real environment. Had my cousins dressed like they were bag boys, and I went shopping. It was great. They planned everything right down to the music.
Yeah, now people will know who you are when you start to put the glove on. Where's the gun? Big red. That is red, big red.
It was a lot of fun. It gave me a chance to see in my way kind of what the real world is like, even though it wasn't the real thing. Eventually, I started recognizing people, like the woman in the blonde wig is my nanny. Even Elizabeth Taylor was there. She was on the cover of this magazine.
Gotcha.
What are you looking at?
Where's your card?
It is. Oh, that one right there.
What? Oh.
Everybody was messing with me, trying to steal my card.
It's Wilda. Is there a problem here?
Where's my card? Wait.
Oh, trade cards with
you. We got stuff here. These are my things. Where did my card go?
Right there. Just take that one.
Was he trying to steal your card?
100%.
If you can't keep track of your card, you shouldn't shop.
Yeah, please. He's like, I gotta buy that.
Michael Bay.
My first shopping experience in 30 years.
Just remember, Michael Jackson ice cream.
It was just like being at Disneyland, in my opinion, because I got to do something that I usually don't get to do. We were in Copenhagen, I think, and there was just a sea of people. There was like over 200,000 people, and her eyes were watery. She was on the side of the stage, and I said, "Mother, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" She said, when you were a baby and I was holding you in my arms, I would have never dreamt that you would do this. You would have this kind of effect on an audience like this. And I gave her a hug and tried to get her on stage. She's so shy. No matter what, she will not come on stage. But I thought that was really sweet of her. Neverland appeals to the child inside of every man, woman, and child. It's a place where I feel that you can return to your childhood. You find grown-ups, you know, doing things they hadn't done since they were like 10 years old. It's just a fun, wonderful place to be. It's so much to do. I always wanted to have a place where you're just busy all day and there's just unlimited space to go on quads and mountains and horseback and all kind of fun things. So it's just a fun place. I love it. And I will always love it. And I will never, ever sell Neverland. Neverland is me, you know. It represents the totality of who I am. It really does. I love Neverland.
Okay, here we go on 3. Wait, don't cheat.
Ready?
No, but your hands got to be inside the pocket, man.
No.
I'm going to beat you.
Ready?
Are you ready?
Wait, no, I'm not ready. Ready? No.
I'm crazy for doing this. Okay, no, you got to stretch it. Mac, you got to.
Whoa. I'm not doing the Superman. Ready? Let's go.
You cheater!
Whoa!
He cheats a lot. But he's fun. He loves to have fun.
And it took a lot of body coordination and a lot of confidence and courage and belief.
That's my cousin Elijah. Just push me in the pool. That's Levon, my other cousin, in the red.
No!
If I dried off, they push me right back in. I can't believe that. First shot of me with no shirt on.
I'm a nice person. I just took a shower and I washed my hair thoroughly.
See what they do to me? Mac is the most reckless driver. Oh my God.
You almost killed him.
It's his brother Kieran on the back.
Did you see that lead? Your foot is ran over.
They're good kids though.
I know you had that like.
This is what he did. Look, he had the camera and he went.
It's me and my cousin on the trampoline.
That was close. This is egg hunt day.
Yeah.
And we're going. How many eggs are there?
45.
How many?
45.
45.
Yeah.
We're looking for 45 eggs.
And there'll be special prizes.
Do we get prizes?
Yeah. Well, I hope
a trip to Bermuda.
Yeah.
And a trip. A trip to Walt Disney World. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Whoever finds the golden egg gets the biggest prize.
Hello. I have no fortune. Nothing. Please, you know where they do? Would you tell me, please? I want to win this game. Hey! Yes! My first egg. My
6th egg.
Oh my God.
Which is my 7th egg. Thank you.
See, they're egg hunters around here. Hi, guys. They steal my eggs.
The host with the most. Michael?
Yeah. He went to lift the thing and I grabbed it.
Hey, apple head.
Oh, it said apple head right on it.
Most kids never call me by a name Michael, either Applehead or another name which I don't want to say. It's not a bad word.
Applehead.
I'm skipping to the egg. That's nice.
In someone's pocket, there's an egg.
Yeah, because I heard what Lee said. 10.
And,
we had to find 14.
Here's our winner. 14 eggs.
We had
$70.
What? Bump down.
Oh. Why did I let him do that? I was born in there.
There's Gregory Peck and his wife Veronique. See Gregory dancing? That's the child that comes out in sight of the men when they come to Neverland. He's one of the nicest people in the world. I really love Gregory Peck and his wife. That's their dog, Blanket, believe it or not. And Blanket's sister is Elizabeth Taylor's dog. Gregory Peck is a dear, dear friend of ours. He's singing, he's happy. Now he would never go on the zipper. I hold the world record on that ride. I went on that for 35 minutes straight.
I like to have those at the house. You want them one or two? So when Michael comes home.
Never again.
All right.
I loved it, but I hated it.
When you were going all around.
But Gregory, I mean, he gets on this thing and he brings back his childhood.
Thanks. Can we do it every weekend?
Joe Jackson Day represents a day for our father. We don't celebrate birthdays, really, so we create a day for our father and a day for our mother. All the family comes and we present them with speeches, how we feel about them, and we give them presents. There he is, the guy who taught me everything on stage. There's Janet. There's Alex, the chimp. She's got earrings on. See, my father loves animals. I think that's where I got my love for animals from. But this was his day. There's two names for that ride, the spider or the puke bucket. I don't think Janet got on this. She's just a little chicken. But the real fun is when you see 500 kids, you know, terminally ill children having fun in Neverland. I mean, that's when the park comes to life. They're having fun. Here's my mother and father shooting together, which is a great shot. It's fantastic. She's taking the popcorn. This is my nephew Taj, nephew Augie. Look at her, look at her. She's like me, she loves the camera. That's Janet and myself. Yeah, well, the whole family calls her Dunk, which is short for donkey. We've always called her that since she was a little girl. We're going into the movie theater to see a magic show. Two ice cream, that's her. Janet loves to eat.
This is the one. This is it.
Watch Augie.
Ooh.
They gotta put their neck in there. Look at Augie. He's backing up.
Do you want to sit down? Okay. Okay, we're gonna do it. Here it goes. Everybody's gonna say one. Say one. Everybody's gonna say two. Two. Everybody's gonna say.
He ran. Well, look at him. He ran. He ran out of the theater. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is back at the other house. That day, Janet and I gave my father, we bought him a boat, and he loves to fish. He loves fishing. He loves the outdoors. He's an outdoorsman.
That's why you all have me so. It's nice. Who got this?
Right going, mine did.
That's nice. You can trailer too.
Oh, he loves it.
Oh, she come on over in this boat. Look at her.
He's teasing her.
Let's go boat, Mom.
Oh, it's a big day. I remember Prince Charles leaving the line, walking over to us, and he said,
what are you talking about? And she said, oh, nothing, like that. So that was that story. And there's a couple of other ones, but I don't want to, you know, say too much. She was just a wonderful, warm, compassionate person. Very caring, very caring. It was real. It wasn't publicity stuff. It was real. She really cared. I'm the same way. I feel the same way that she does about children and the future of our children and the future of the world. What I usually do on my off days, I do as many hospitals as I do concerts. I do as many orphanages as I do concerts. But because it's good news, the press don't cover it. They want bad news. But I do it from my heart. I don't do it to wave a flag and say, look at me. We bring bags of toys and posters and albums, and you should see how it transforms these kids. They jump up and down, and they're so happy. This is Lisa Marie and myself at a hospital in Budapest. And I saw this little kid. His name was Farkas. He was very sick. He was green in the face, but he had this glow and this sparkle in his eye. I asked this nurse, what's wrong with this kid? She said that he needs a liver. So I said, does that mean he's gonna die? She said, yes, he's gonna die unless he gets a liver. I said, I'm not gonna let him die, this sweet, sweet angel. No matter what it takes, I'm gonna find a liver for him. So I sent my organization around the world. We went all over the place, and it took a long time. And I said, I'm not giving up. I'm not gonna have this child die. I was so happy when I got a phone call. They told me we found the liver, and he has his life. And I'm so proud that I could help him. God bless him. I love you, Farkas. I found a tape that was really exciting because, in truth, I didn't even know it existed anymore. In between the tours, we had a break, and my brothers and I took my mother to Alabama to visit her stepfather.
We're on our way to Alabama.
That's right. Salvation Army tomorrow, Bill. Really, don't knock. You find good stuff. Don't you, Tito? And other places will sell real expensive. I'm telling you. You're going to be hitting them soon with the depressing stuff. I love going to the Salvation Army because I find things that I haven't seen since I was little.
There's Michael over there looking for junk.
They know I like to go through everything. I'm very curious. I go through drawers and go through everybody's closets. I don't steal, but I like to look and explore.
But what they got in there, Mike? Moon Marlin. This is the South, baby.
I love seeing the old colonial homes in the South. I had set this shot of me and my brothers walking down. I have a film camera in my hand.
Fellas, I'm Georgia.
This is my mother in the front, and that lady behind her is my mother's stepfather's mistress. I'm Georgia. She's funny. That's me. Look at the shacks. I love this.
He's hiding behind his mom. Hey, Jacksons, turn around. What smell like beef jerky?
We were just exploring. They live in those houses. Very interesting. It's a whole different way of life down there.
Y'all tighten up.
We love visiting people we don't know. We try to get these kids to dance, see. So I do a little step, and maybe he would join in. He got a little shy. These kids have incredible rhythm, but they were shy in front of us.
You kicked that thing on me hard. He was saying, he said, possums are good eating down here, aren't they?
They ate possum, but I wouldn't have any because I knew it was in the rodent family, and they're very cute. They got these little pink noses and big eyes, and they're very inviting, but I wouldn't want to eat one.
Papa! Papa, where you been?
That's my mother's stepfather, Papa, Uncle Johnny. I love the way they talk down there. Like he's speaking another language, doesn't it?
Sugar babe, need a hand?
Oh yeah, Sugar Babe. She helps take care of Uncle Johnny. She loves to dance. Sugar Babe. Uncle Johnny is truly a character, and he had this drink called White Lightning, and this drink was so strong, I'm not joking, one sip will get you drunk. It's really strong. My brother Tito took a sip and he went, wow. You couldn't believe it, but I stayed away from it. But Sugar Babe had some, that's why she was dancing.
All right, let's go. Bye, Papa. That's St. George they're hugging. She was hiding in the house because she told us when it was time to leave that she couldn't take it, and she's crying. So Bill brought her out.
It was a wonderful experience. It was just really phenomenal. One day I get this call from Elizabeth Taylor saying she wanted to come to the ranch. She flew out in this helicopter.
How are you?
Hi. Is Michael out in front?
I knew by the tone of her voice that something was up, but I had no idea how big the surprise was. She came out with this huge elephant. And it was unbelievable. And at first I was kind of scared because this thing is huge. Eventually, I got into it, feeding them carrots and stuff like that.
Great.
This is like a garbage can. Is your foot? Bless your heart.
I love elephants. They're gentle giants, really. Elizabeth was dressed like a gypsy, and that's why we named the elephant Gypsy. It was one of the best presents that I've ever gotten. I was so happy that day. It was a wonderful experience. But what Elizabeth didn't know, that I was planning a surprise for her also.
Oh my God! That's amazing! I love it! Oh, thank you! What's it made of, a carpet?
The gift that I gave Elizabeth to me was very unique. It looks like a painting, but it isn't.
That's incredible! I love that color.
It's a tapestry. This guy did it piece by piece.
I wrote something on the bottom.
Oh!
I love you, Michael.
Oh, I love it!
Do you have a place for it? Maybe near Switzerland?
No, I may have to build a house.
I think it was a shot from one of her movies.
I think it's fabulous.
That commercial you have out is beautiful.
Do you like it?
Oh, it's incredible.
Well, maybe you'll see one of my films one of these days then.
I knew you were going to. I'm seeing Virginia Wood this week.
Well, congratulations.
I hope to see it today.
We have to explain the joke. The last film that Michael saw me in, that he thought I was really wonderful in, was a film called White Cliffs of Dover. And I was 9 years old. So he's going to see me as a grown-up.
Yeah.
He may never speak to me yet.
It wasn't quite as big as Gypsy, but I think she liked my gift as much as I liked hers. We always end up our tours in fun places, like Florida. We stayed at the Playboy Club Hotel, where these bunnies walking around serving you. You know, they have their little tails on, these little legs and stuff. Fun.
Me and Mac we're in Bermuda and we're looking for some interesting treasure.
Mac and I would go on vacation together, and Mac is very smart, and he's very ingenious in causing trouble.
But it's his idea.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna try this one.
And we were in Bermuda together, and we were signing water balloons. He had me signing water balloons, and he was throwing these balloons at the fans on the balcony. They loved it. They wanted more. They were asking for more.
But Mac's throwing it.
So I was signing these balloons, and he kept throwing them.
This balloon is autographed.
I'm signing them, he's throwing them, and that's what we did. Those are snaps, those little finger things you see there. When you throw them, they pop. And Mac wanted to see if he could light the snaps.
What?
I wonder if we light this thing.
I didn't want him to do it, but
Mac,
he did it anyway.
No, we shouldn't use fire, Mac. I'm scared.
Right in front of the manager.
Especially with the manager standing over you.
No, okay, move back.
This is the manager of the hotel, you know. He's gonna run you out.
And he got away with it. The guy said, it's okay, don't worry about it. The footage you're seeing now is Emmanuel Lewis and myself on this speedboat. This is at Disney World, and we had so much fun there. We did everything. We did hot air balloons. We fed turtles. There he is. He's dancing with the characters. He's not shy at all. I was too shy to dance. Oh yeah, I love the water parks. I wish I could do that more often these days, but I'm allergic to the sunlight. I really can't go in the sun. I have to have an umbrella, but then there are times when you just look. It looks like so much fun, and you just say, forget it. I'm going. I have to do this.